Hey, hey, hey. Hope everybody's had a good week. This is Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Before we get going today, I wanted to let everybody know that if this is your first time here, this is where we talk about the business of hotshot trucking. We will talk about how to make money. We're going to talk about how to lose money and everything in between. We believe that for you to be successful, first you got to be legal, then you got to be safe, and then you got to be profitable. Okay, so this is where we're at. All right, before we get too far going, I want to thank all the veterans and first responders out there for all you do and all you continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without you. Also, please remember that we have a mentorship program uh, over on Patreon. That's the number right there. And all the proceeds for this from this Patreon program goes to the Wounded Warrior Project and St. Jude's Children's Hospital at the end of the year. So thank you for helping us help them. All right, so this week it is, let's figure that out. So this week's been a little calmer than last week, which is good. Didn't have any kind of craziness too bad going on. Hey, Jeremy, William, Alan, hey guys. Listen, wanted to just touch base a minute and before we get too far going, let's see where we're at here. All right, so diesel prices this week. Diesel prices are unchanged, still at 380, about 380 and a half. It was unchanged from last week. Same thing last week. Reminder: second quarter IFTA is due by the end of this month. Don't forget, guys, because they penalize. And we got ours finished up, so got that out of the way. King of None, how you doing? All right. As another reminder, Brake Safety Week. Mark your calendars. August 20th through the 26th. Focus on brake linings and pads. You're going to be going under your trailer looking for brakes issues, any missing parts, any kind of craziness. Maintenance alert. I did this last week. I'm going to do it again. On your older Rams, you have this setup. I know when I checked my 2020, it does not have this setup. So this is an older Ram, maybe an 18, 19. It'll have that bar with two nuts on the end. When you take it, according to one of the drivers, when you take it in to have it checked, they tack weld. That's their fix for it. Craziness this week. I've been waiting to tell you guys this. Guys, this doesn't have anything to do with anything but craziness. We have Charlie and Max, which are my two Datsuns, miniature Datsuns. They're about 12 pounds. Here they are in all their glory. That's Charlie and Max. Charlie's on the right, Max on the left. All right, so I'm actually working on IFTA, and the dogs sort of come and go as they want, in and out. Okay, they free reign of the backyard. They do whatever they want. Well, long story short, Mila's out back messing around back there doing something, and all hell breaks loose. The dogs start raising hell. Mila starts screaming. By the time I get the computer down and get out the back, they're going around the back side of the property, and Mila's screaming, "Charlie, no, Charlie, no." I get over there and look down, and there is a snake underneath the tree I've got back there, and it's caught a rabbit and wrapped around this rabbit, and it was fixing to have rabbit dinner. Well, Charlie and Max went in there. Charlie went after the rabbit. Max went after the snake. The snake releases and starts heading up a tree. Charlie grabs the rabbit and brings it out and lays it at my feet, like, She's so proud of herself. Mila grabs hold of the dogs. My buddy Bobby was here. He comes out back. He goes up in the tree and grabs a damn snake. Well, guys, let me just tell you just a little bit about me. Whether it's a black snake or a cobra makes no difference to me. I ain't messing with either one of them damn things. So, uh, here's Bobby with the snake, and it was up under that tree off to his arm, and yeah, all hell was breaking loose. I was proud of my dogs though. That they took care of the backyard. Okay, so anyway, all right. So enough of that, folks. So yeah, that's a big snake. Um, so picture of the week, we got Jeremy. Jeremy shot up the coolest picture of the week. That's him, and he's got a bobcat and some under the tarp. I think that's in Pennsylvania. I can't remember where that's at, but yeah, that's a cool picture. Thanks for sending that in, Jeremy. All right, before we get to that, I want to go over a couple things about tonight's. I want to go over a couple things about tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is, yeah, that picture was taken in West Virginia. Thank you, Jeremy. Tonight's topic is about money. Now, most of you know that I don't discuss money as far as how much you can make and hey Dale and all that. I don't discuss that. What I do discuss is how you can make money and how you can lose money in this channel. Well, for tonight, we're going to deal with when you're looking at getting in the business, the things you need to consider. Everybody jumps around and goes and watches some YouTubers telling everybody they're making $1 billion a week and with no justification as to how they made it. And that's the problem with a lot of this mess is people start talking about money and the next thing you know, you've chased them down a rabbit hole and you're believing their BS. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to go through a setup as to somewhere you can start trying to calculate whether or not you can even afford to get in this business. Because listen, if you get in this business over leveraged, you're dead. You're going to be working for a payment and you don't want to do that. If you're looking to get in this business for a job, you're in the wrong business, guys. You do not start a hotshot company or any business looking for a paycheck. It was this year, because we went to an S Corp status that I had to start taking a paycheck. And it's minimal. It's minimal. So understand that. If you're looking to come into this thing, grab a paycheck and run, you're not going to do it. You're going to fail. This is a business. If you don't treat it like a business, you're going to be bankrupt. Okay. So what we want to go through tonight is a basic understanding of what's involved. This is a estimate. Everything here is estimated, and it's based on numbers that I know. So I tried to go a little, downscale with it and be conservative. So understand that going into this situation. Okay, so first thing we want to talk to, and let me tell you, when we get over to the question and answer session, the question and answers is going to be on money. That's it. It's just going to be about what we talked about here tonight. That's where I want to keep it. All right, so here we go. All right, I hope you can see this. I did the best I could with it. It's as big as I can. It's as big as I can make it. So, what we're going to talk about is this: the estimate. If you're going to start a company, what I advise you to do is estimate 9,000 miles a month. That's low, but estimate that. average rate of $2 a mile. That gives you a gross revenue of $18,000. Okay. Now, your fixed cost, these are costs that's going to happen whether you run or you don't. Okay. But I added dispatch and lease fee on that. And that really should be under variable, but I'm going to leave it there. DD214 averages between 15 and 18%, so I put 15.5 on there. Now that's a $2,790 a month expense. You have a 3% factoring fee, so that's $540. Your monthly insurance, it's going to be 16. You're going to have to put your number in here, okay? This is just my numbers, not even mine. These are just fictitious numbers, but 1,600 to 2,000, depending on your equipment and how much you owe on it and how new it is. All right, so your monthly truck payment, okay, 800. Some people's, this is 890, so it could be 890. Might be 1,500. You have to put that in there. But we're going to use these numbers tonight. Okay, so your trailer payment, in my case, my trailer's paid off, so I have no payment. Your monthly ELD cost is going to be around $40. Now, I have to pay for parking, so I threw parking in there of $100. And monthly, I pay $50 a month for QuickBooks, and monthly data storage is $10 a month. Okay, so that gives us, I know you can't see my mouse, but that gives us down here at the bottom right $6,020 in fixed expenses. You're going to have that expense on $18,000 period. Okay, all right, so we have some variable cost here, and our variable cost is this. Hey, Dominic, our variable cost is fuel. Now, fuel goes up and down, all right? So that's going to be a variable. So you're going to have to run those 9,000 miles, all right? You're going to have $3,150 involved. You come down. Now, I have put $350 a month in repairs. And if you're spending $350 a month in repairs, you've got an old piece of equipment somewhere. I don't spend that much, but you have to estimate that. And then you estimate $50 a month or so in IFTA. Okay. Now, something you're going to have to understand is if you have a huge fuel tank, your IFTA expenses are going to be a lot more. You might buy cheap fuel here, run through 5 states, and buy cheap fuel on the other side. But those 5 states at the end of the quarter is going to catch you for IFTA. So that'll go up or down depending on the size of your fuel tank. All right, pre-tax profit now, this is pre-tax, is $8,430. That's what you profited pre-tax off of the 18. So you want to drop down a little further. For the last 4 years, I think my average tax rate has been about 12%. And that's because you depreciate things, you get tax credit for other things. So you have to understand your effective tax rate. Some people's are going to be higher, some people are going to be lower, but mine was about 12%. On the business, it's not my personal, it's on the business. Understand that. So you're actually paying taxes on the $84.30 is $1,011.60. Okay. All right. Now I want you to come down and I want you to look at your reserves down here under repair. And you have to understand how this works. It is not the repair reserve is not a true expense. Okay. Understand, you have to understand that the repair reserve is still your money. It's not expended until you expend it, until you buy something. So that reserve is not an expense. It's sitting there. Do you have to take it out? By God, I would. I absolutely would. I would take 10 cents a mile out. And if you don't, you're asking for trouble, because the first major thing that happens, you're down. When you're down, you're out of money. So understand that the repair reserve is it's a good business decision. It's not mandatory. Okay. All right. So this gives you, hold on, let me go back. This gives you a net profit. This is what you put in your pocket and you can pay your expenses with. When I say expenses, I mean your mortgage or your house or whatever. Okay. Whatever you got that you need to pay outside of the business goes here. And that's 74.18. So off of 18,000, you're looking at bringing home about 74.18. Okay. Now, if you take that $900 and set it aside, which you should, it'll be a little less than that, but you should do that. Now, what we want to do, now we're going to see what is your cost to run per mile. How much is it going to cost you to drive that truck with a load on it? These are loaded miles. Okay, this 9,000, those are loaded miles. All right. Now, we're going to go this way with it. All the numbers that were on the right that we just went through is the same. So I'm just going to kind of run down through it. For your fixed expenses, it'll be 67 cents on that number that I gave you. Okay. So on the 6,020, it's 67 cents. On your variable cost, it's going to be, your variables was 3,500, and that's going to be an additional 39 cents. Okay. For a total, by the time you get the tax, on this particular scenario, the total is $1.18 a mile. $1.18 per loaded mile is what it's costing you. Okay, and I want you to understand that it is that's a good number. Okay, you got some guys running who come in heavy on their debt, and they're running large numbers. And it's going to hurt them because, you just can't come into this thing buried to your neck in debt. All right, so let's go back a minute. I want to show you guys something. That bottom number, okay, the bottom number is affected totally by that 9,000 miles that you run. If that goes to 12, your bottom numbers change significantly. Okay, and the cost per mile, the more you run, the less the cost per mile is going to be. Okay, all right, so now this is how this is how I determine deadhead miles. All right, even though the trucks for the deadhead grab 12 miles. Hey, Bernie. Hey, Robert. They make 12 miles to the gallon. I made the calculation at 10. Okay, and I want you to understand how this works. When you're dealing with deadhead, and understand that this is your company. Now, if you have a driver in your truck that you're paying, all right, then the calculation will change a little bit, because you will have to put the driver's expense in this. For me, for a single guy, I don't do that because I own the company. Everything I do is for the company. I take whatever's left. If I do good and I bust my ass, I make more money. If I lay around and do nothing, I'm not going to make any money. And that's how it works. All right, so now listen up. When you're checking your deadhead miles, in this case, there was 100 deadhead miles. Okay, there were 600 1,200 loaded miles, and the pay was $1,200. Okay. Now, what you want to do to calculate to see, hey, is that really worth the run? Is you take your fuel, which is 10 miles to the gallon, is 10 gallon. At 380, it's $38. So that's going to cost you $38 to get over there. Then I always add in, because remember, I tell you to do per miles driven on that truck, 10 cents a mile. So it's going to cost another $10 for your maintenance reserve. So the cost of the deadhead to go that 100 miles is $48. Now you take that 48 out of the 12, and it's an effective rate of 11.52. Okay, and that breaks down to about $1.92 a mile. Now at that point, you have to ask yourself, is this load worth running at $1.92 a mile? That's up to you and your dispatcher. But it's well noting that this is something that you take into consideration. Okay. Again, if you have a driver in there, you're going to have to account for his compensation. All right. All right. So I hope everybody has a basic understanding of how to start your dive into figuring out what the income and your expenses can be. Okay. What I would like to do now is yell at everybody and tell them hello, and I appreciate them for being here, and want to take questions about anything I talked about for money at this point. So anything else we're not going to deal with tonight. Sorry, but we're on the topics of the money. So if you got questions, let me have it. We have no questions? Awesome. So when other things that once you get running, then you can add a few other things in there. Okay. Depending on where you run, you may have tolls. Depending on you may have a trailer payment. So all that stuff's got to be taken into consideration. You go back and you look at that sheet, and you'll see underneath it'll say other. What price did you charge per mile? As much as you can get, as much as they're willing to pay. So, when you look at this right now, everybody's pretty much on spot rate, and you're going to have to look at the lane and what they are charging in that lane right now, the broker to shipper spot rate. And if you have and listen, you guys are going out there thinking, or asking, what should I charge a mile? You have to depend on that sheet. What's it cost you per mile to run? How much does it, where's your profit at? And if you come in, underneath everybody else, and you're still making a profit, you're going to work. If those numbers come out and it says you got to make $2.58 a mile, there's going to be very few loads you're going to be able to run. So you have to get in this business correctly. I hope that helps you out, Bernie. What else we got? Nana? All right. Well, good deal. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in, stopping in. I'm glad glad everybody's having a good week. When you're thinking about this stuff, think about conservative numbers. Don't be like some of these guys. Like, well, if I'm going to be on the road, I'm going to have the best truck I can possibly buy. Well, you will. But you're going to pay for it, and you'll never get your money back. So listen, love your family. Enjoy life. Enjoy your trip. You know, life's a journey, not a destination, man. You got to be happy with what you're doing. All right, we're out of here. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend. We're out here chasing snakes. Have a good week.